really enough. So with that, with a show of hands or with a yes or no, could you please tell me if you have used Miro boards before? And I'm writing that in the chat box. Miro boards. So have you used Miro boards before? Never. Okay. Wow. No one has used Miro boards. Is there anyone who has used Miro boards before? Maybe would. Tandian has tried. Tandian. Okay, so we have one participant who has used. All right, so it might be helpful to you all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'll go through the steps of working with Miro boards. And later on, I will be sharing the link to the Miro board. So what I would like you to do is open another tab on your browser. And I hope you're working on a laptop or PC, yeah? So you'll have to open a browser and then I'll give you the address so you can work on it at the same time. But for the beginning, I will be sharing my screen and going through the content, okay? So please allow me to share my screen and good morning to all those who just joined us. I am Neera. Yeah, you don't want to see my chat. Right. Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can. Please, Neera.
Thank you. Thanks for telling me. All right. Just give me a second, please. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have a PowerPoint slide for today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just Miro board for the entire workshop. Yeah, so we don't need to use separate PowerPoint slides. I have my slides here on the Miro board, and this is what I will be using to present. So,
fill out ng ano, di ba, form? Kaya sabi tayo nung ano.
Evelyn, if you could mute everyone, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so this is my first slide, and as you can see, it has the information, right? So let's move on. What are we going to do today? So by the end of the session, I hope that you will be introduced to Miro boards, and we'll look at some prominent features of Miro boards. And in the end, we will look at vocabulary exercises, which we can do using Miro boards. So something new which I tried in the last semester of this year. For us at Sunray University, one semester is for 14 weeks. And I tried Miro boards with my one tutorial group and students loved it. So that's why I'm sharing this best practice with you. And I hope you find it useful. Right, so once again, it's Miro board with Neera Dhawan. Now what we are going to look at first is how to sign up. We will look at using the tools of Miro board. And in the end, as I said before, we will be looking at vocabulary activities since the topic for today is vocabulary. We are going to assume, as you may have read in my short write-up about this workshop, we are going to assume that we have already taught the students word formations, different word forms for, let's say, vocabulary. So they are aware of what adjectives, adverbs, nouns, and verbs are. They know all the word formation, and then we are going to look at those acts. So this assumption is going to be there, yeah? Now, so I'm going to just show you Miro board. So I'm going to stop presenting, and I'm going to show you what a Miro board is. So you see this blank white space, and that is called a Miro board. Now I am turning left, I'm scrolling left, and I'm scrolling right. If you can see that, you see I'm scrolling right, yeah, and now I'm scrolling left. So this entire white space, which is actually infinite, it is limitless, and that's the beauty of Miro board. You can start practically from anywhere, and you can start writing. So we are going to look at, first of all, we are going to look at sign up. Yeah, how do we sign up? So I'm already signed into this one browser. So I'm going to go to another browser right now, and I'm going to type in, oh yeah, it's already here, Miro board. I'm going to type in Miro board, and you click on that. I have a pro account from Sunway University, but you can also use a personal account, or you see with the organization how that works, right? So when I log in, it's quite simple. You just log in with your address. I have already created an account, but if you need to create an account, you'll have to go through very minimum steps. So this is how you sign in, and I'm going to go back to my other browser where I'm already signed in. So the signing in process is simple. There are pro accounts and there are standard accounts. There are more features available on the pro account, definitely. So you'll have to check with the organization how that works, but I have used the standard account and it's absolutely fine. So that was about signing up, and we are going to look at tools. So another awesome feature of Miro board is you can zoom in, and you can see at the bottom right, the zooming ratio, right? You could also zoom in from here, and you could zoom out from here. If you are using the wheel of your mouse, you could just turn the wheel, and the zooming in and out feature works just fine. If you don't have a mouse, which you're using a trackpad, go ahead and use the plus minus sign here, or the command CTRL plus Z, yeah? So that's the zooming in and zooming out feature. We have a pen feature for which you can use to write something. Let's say I want to write a hello, and you can see it's really thick. So I don't want such a thick pen, and I can change the color of the pen, and then, oh, it's still very thick. And you can reduce the thickness from here, right? So that's right, that's a pen tool, and there's an eraser. You can just go ahead and erase it. Another cool feature here is for smart drawing shapes. And let's say I draw a triangle, it will fix the triangle for me. If I draw a circle and my circle doesn't look very pretty, it'll fix the circle for me, right? There's an undo button here. If you accidentally do something which you don't want on the Miro board, you can undo it, or you could use CTRL plus Z. So these are really useful commands, and you might wonder, okay, so how will I remember all the commands? Well, you don't have to remember them. You can just go to the settings, and there's a button called shortcuts. Click on that, and all the commands are already here. So CTRL plus Z will undo, and there are lots of commands: copy, paste, duplicate, select, and you'll learn once you go through it. So yeah, so we are on shapes, and if you draw a shape, it'll fix it, right? Another cool feature is, and I did something wrong, so I will undo it. So now I don't want to write, I want to select. So when I want to select, I should get rid of this pen icon. So I cancel that, and I go to the select tool. That's very important. So when you select, you can reposition your shapes, for example. Yeah, you can also copy. So if I CTRL plus C, I copy and I paste it here. Oops, I'm sorry. Why did that happen? I could just copy it and I could paste it, right? And I could paste it again. What else can I do? I can change the color of this shape. Yeah, I can change the outline border of this. So that's another thing we can do. If I want to group all these together and then move them, they move automatically. Okay, so these are very few simple features which we need to learn first before we dive into what actually happens with Miro boards. So until now, if you remember, we have done a few commands or we've used a few tools already. Can you just answer me in the chat box, how many tools or how many things have we learned in the Miro board until now? In the chat box, please. Yeah, which ones? Could you just tell me which ones? What have we learned until now? So I know everybody's right here with me. Copy, select, login, borders. Yeah, okay. Smart drawing, right? Pasting. Many. Yes, we've done many. Okay, thank you so much. Now, I'm moving this one around, but if I want to move all these around, then I have to. So how did I do that? I press shift and I select all. I just drag it with my mouse. And now it becomes a group. So I can move it around. And also I can press CTRL and Z and I can delete the entire thing, right? So I'm deleting. Okay, so that's done. So we've done the pen feature, we've done copy, we've done paste, we've done grouping. Now, another feature is, let's say you want to post a note for your students. So go ahead and use a shape. Let's use a square in the beginning. And you can start from here. Okay, that's a square. Okay. Right, so you have a square. And let's say you don't want a border. So no border. And I want to make it a pink color. So it's a pink color. And then when I want to type something in the square, I double click where it shows the cursor. And then I say hello. And my hello looks really small. So I'm going to highlight it and increase the font size, let's say to 200. Oops, that's really big. Okay, maybe a 75, right? So, and I can change the shape. I can make it longer, I can make it wider, or I can make it smaller. Okay, so this is a good shape, and this is what I want to show. So that's a text box, right? It's a box. You can also use another shape, and you know, you could type something in here. So that's another thing you can do. What you can also do is, let's say you are doing a mind map, or you're showing a flow chart, or you're showing steps in a process. You could connect it with a line. And if you want to use, let's say I don't want to use a curved line, I want to use a straight line, so I can use a straight line. It can also be, again, I click on it, and it could be a dotted line maybe, right? So you could connect from shapes or from boxes to other boxes. What else can you do? You could also type. You could also type some text. So, and it tells you to do something, type something, right? So go home, for example, yeah? So if you're giving directions, you could connect and you could give directions, right? So, okay, I'm gonna get rid of these. Another feature which we use a lot on Miro boards is sticky notes. And the fun part about sticky notes is, like, you know, they are colorful. So you could post lots of sticky notes. Let's say you're doing a brainstorming activity and then you want your students to post answers. You could just write student 1 and student 2 and so on, right? So that's what you can do. If it's all scattered everywhere and you want to make a whole group out of it, again, I press Shift and then I drag it until where I want it. Now it becomes a group and it can align objects. Yeah, I can align them, or I can ungroup them, right? So that's something you could do in a table format. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so we have actually looked at lots of features. I'm going to look at maybe talk about one more. Let's say I want my students to watch a video. Yeah, so watch this video. So you can see the alignment of this text is right in the center of the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to change I want it to be right on top. And it's really tiny. So I think I want to increase the size. Yeah. So you can, and what video? So the good news about this is you could post a URL. So here there's an option of upload on the left-hand side here. So this arrow says upload. You could upload something from your device if you have a video or an audio. You could upload via URL, right? So what we do is we go to another, let's say I have this video here of a pizza, how to make a pizza dough, and then I go to the share. I copy the URL address, and then I go back to my Miro board and I paste it here. So this will upload the video, and obviously you can minimize it, and then you can bring it here. So you want the students to watch this video before they do something else. So that's another thing, that's another feature of uploading. Now, while people are working, right now you don't have the address to the Miro board and you're not working on this, but once everyone starts working on it, you'll see that when you're typing or something, things may go out of place. It might not, be where you meant it to be. So as a board owner, because you own the board, so as a board owner, what you can do is you click on this, you could lock it. And you could, and so this lock means anyone can unlock it. But if you click on it one more time, it says only the board owner can unlock it. So I like to use this because now nobody can disturb the video which I posted, right? So even the video I can lock, right? So, but obviously they can still watch it, okay? So you see, if you click on the play button, it will still watch, play the video, right? So I'm going to go and delete this, and I'm going to delete this, and I'll be happy to take any questions if there are. I thought I'll just take a couple of moments to see if you have any questions. And if not, we'll continue. So please feel free to ask away. There are no questions, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to continue. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the address with you. So far, so good. That's nice to know. Thanks, Sushila. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm glad, Eunice. Okay, so I'm going to share this address with you, and this is how you do it once you have a Miro board. And I must remind you that the possibilities of Miro boards, the usage, the possibilities are limitless because the Miro board is infinite. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you what all I have planned for today. And you can see there's so much planned for today, but you don't see most of the things, right? You only see my slides. So you can hide items from your students. You know, as you, let's say you have planned for week 1 to week 5, and then all the work for week 2 to 5, you don't want to show the students, you just want to show them week 1 work, that's absolutely fine. You can hide the frames for them. Talking about frames, maybe I should talk about frames before I move on. So I'm going to just, okay, so this is what we did. Let's say I write something for them, and what is a frame? So a frame is something like you need when you want to present. It's in presentation mode. So if I click on this bottom left frame icon here, it will show all, it's like PowerPoint slides also. So I can quickly go to my frame, and you see this I button. So this I is open means it's not hidden from you to watch. So you can see all these, but I have decided to hide these, right? So if I click on that, it will show it to you again, right? So that's something you can do for frames. So how to create a frame? Let's say I have posted whatever I wanted to post for today's lesson. I want to create a frame around it. So I go to the left tab and I go click on frame. It will give you lots of options. And the cool thing is it gives you options for a phone, for a tablet mode, like how would it look on a phone? Or how, you see here, it shows you the orientation and the device. Here it's a phone. But if I don't want a phone, I just want a frame on this Miro board, then I will, for some reason, it's a very small frame. So we can make the frame larger. And now I will take this frame around my text. So this is frame 24, and I can lock the frame, yeah? So once I lock the frame means nobody can move it. So if I go down to all my frames, it will show the last frame as frame 24, which I just created. So once I'm presenting, once I'm in presentation mode, it will be easy to go through the slides, just like I did in the beginning. And this is in presentation mode. Now it's in presentation mode, see? Yeah, okay. So that's where we were. We have actually used the tools. We've done undo, we've done zoom, we have done upload URL, duplicate. We have learned how to add text already, and we have looked at pen and hand. Okay, what we haven't looked at is hand. Now this is the hand feature. What is the hand feature? Hand feature is used if I just want to shift the entire board, right? It is shifting my entire board. But, and also I'm presenting right now. So if I get out of the presentation mode and I use the hand feature, it will still move the board. But if I use the select feature, then I can, let's say if I'm using a sticky note and I use the select feature, now I can move this anywhere. Yeah, I can make it larger. I can type on it, and that's the select feature. I hope all these things were useful, and I'm going to delete this with a Control Z. I don't know why it's not deleting. Sometimes it happens, and then you just go to the 3-dot ellipsis and you delete it. Okay, so now it's time for you to try this. So I'm going to show you how to share it with your students also, because you want students to collaborate on something, for example. So you go to the share button And there are lots of options here. You could just enter email or invite them from a team. If you have a team, if you're using a Google Classroom or something. But for this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this option for anyone with the link. And I must use it for can edit option. Okay, I don't need to set a password. I'm just going to share the copy, share the board link with you guys, and I'm sharing this in the chat with you. Do you have the limit number of people while using Miro? I'm sorry, I don't know that. My largest class was 93 students in the last semester, and I did not use it for my lecture group. You can find that in the plans, okay, like the standard plan and the pro account. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that question because I haven't looked at it, but I must remind you, I don't use it for really large classes, and you will see why, because right now you are 34, 35 participants along with me, and you'll see what happens when there's more people. So advisable, where there is 20 to 25 people, it's advisable to do a Miro board activity for a smaller group. I hope that answers your question, Rayawadi. You're welcome. It is practical. Yes, it's amazing. I've shared the Miro board. I've shared the Miro board address. Please open a tab on your browser. Go click. Enter that, and it will take you to Miro board. And I'll be able to see once. Yeah, I can see you all are already coming in here. So what I want you to do is, I want all of you to come to this activity. You can see there are 5 participants already on my Miro board. I will show how to add the YouTube video. Yes, Michael, thanks for the question. So as all of you are joining, I'm just going to show how to add a video. So for example, I want to upload something. So let's say I create a sticky note here, and I want to upload a video, and I want to tell my students, watch this video. So I must give an instruction first, and then I go to upload on the left-hand side. I click on upload. It will give you options, lots of options actually. There are lots of options here, but we are going to choose upload via URL. So we click on that, and let's say I already have the thing copied here. Okay, that's the Miro board address. That's not something I want to share, but if I have a YouTube video, I can just go ahead and copy the link from YouTube. And then when I go back to my Miro board, I upload it here, and it will say, okay. So now it has uploaded the video here. I don't want it here, so I'll bring it here. Does that help, Michael? You are welcome. Okay, so I'm going to delete it. What I want you to do is I want all of you to come to this pink board here. If you can see on my, now you can see all these people are on the Miro board. So what I want you to do is I want all of you to come to the pink color board. I want all of you to look, please look at the screen I'm sharing. Please come to the pink color board here. Right. So what I want all of you to do is I want you to use a sticky note. Please use a sticky note, paste it on the pink board here, which I'm showing on my screen. Write your name and tell me a little bit about yourself, please. And you can see I have written something on the top right of the pink board. Okay, so maybe take 3 minutes to do this. I'm going to set a timer. Okay, so you can see the time is up, and I would like to, yes, I added timer and the sound effects, Eunice, and I will show you very quickly. Okay, so thanks for the question, Eunice. Right. Can I ask everyone to stop moving, stop typing, because the activity is over. There was a question, and so please come out of, leave your tab where your Miro board is open, but come to the Zoom call where I'm sharing slide with you. So how do we use the timer? If you look at the bottom left, there's a button called timer. If you click on it, it will open. You can fix, let's say you want to give 1 minute and 45 seconds, sorry, let's say you want to give 4 minutes, right, to your students for the activity. You do it here, and you can choose music. So there are lots of options, and you can play them and hear them. And then when you start, then the timer will start going down here, and then it will automatically tell the students about the time is up. Yeah, I hope that helps, Eunice. Okay, so let's see what everybody has written. And now you can see, now I hope you're looking at my shared screen, okay? So you can see many people are below the box, below the pink box, and that's fine. Me as a board owner, I can bring all the participants. Do you see this option, bring everyone to me? So I can click on that and I click on bring everyone to me and everybody comes to my screen, okay? So, and these are, I think you guys had fun writing something and let's read some of the comments. Winnie is from Indonesia, Winnie is Indonesian. Now you see all these I can move because, you know, you didn't lock them, right? So that's something you can do on your own if you don't want people to move around you. If you don't want other students, like if you're giving the activity to students and you don't want students to mess, so they can lock it, they can resize it. Hi, Vimala, musically inclined. Nice to meet you, Vimala. Okay, so lots of interesting answers here. Carol, pessimistic, optimist. Okay, Ines, Justin, hi. Nina, cheers. Okay, all right. So activity 1 is done. You saw how to post a sticky note and write some text on it. Well done. I'm just going to look at the chat box. It is it's mobile phone friendly, but I never let my students use a mobile phone. Now, why? Because this is for collaborative work, and you can see it's really, Justin, it's really easy to zoom out. Yeah, you can see zooming. I'm zooming out right now, and now I'm zooming in. So on a mobile phone, when you're, when the students are brainstorming something or writing the ideas, then only a larger screen works better. Okay. All right. Time for activity number 2. I hope that helps, Justin. Padlet. How is this different from Padlet? Good question. I use Padlet extensively, but there are times I want to use Miro board because of a lot of students can work on the same board, whereas in Padlet, one post is by one student, right? It was difficult to find the frame. Yes, very good question, Julia. Why did that happen? Because I did not make my this board as a frame, and it's really good for you to learn that on your own so that it teaches you that if you want the students to come to the frame and you want to teach your students to click on frames, and once students click on frame, the teacher can tell them go to frame number so and so. But you can see this is not a frame. Excellent learning point. So if you want the students to come to frame number 16, then you will have to create a frame around it. And I did not do that on purpose so that you understand the frustration of students trying to find the frame. Thank you so much for that. Okay, Vimla, I haven't used Prezi, yeah? So I'm sorry, I can't say anything about that. Okay, next activity, and we are at 10:35, right? So, we might not have time for the next activity, but what I'm going to do is now I want you to come to a frame. Okay, so let's see. And I've forgotten which frame it was. So you can quickly open the frame and see what's happening. No, where is my activity? Give me a second, please. Right. Okay. So this is, now I would like all of you to go to frame number 1. So you can find frame number 1 and it's open. Now in frame number 1, if all of you can come there, yeah. So this is an activity which I have used for vocabulary. So this is what I can do, right? So what's going to happen is Right, so we are on frame 1. Is everyone on frame 1? Now, this is one option of vocabulary activity. So once we have taught the students, they can look at, okay, so on frame 1, right? We are on frame 6 now. If everybody can look at frame 6, there's a list of words. There's adjectives, there's adverbs, there's nouns, there's verbs, and you ask the students to sort out the words according to the verb form they have, right? So if it's a noun, pick the word from frame 6 and take it to the respective frame for adverb or for noun. And again, let's set a time for that. Let's do 2 minutes this time, okay? Very quickly. Take the word from frame 6 and paste it on the, you could paste it on a sticky note, or you could just type it, or you could just lift it from frame 6. Okay, so time's up. Thank you so much. So this is another activity so later when you see all the work, yeah, could you share your frustrations with me? What did you find difficult or annoying, if there was any? Somebody has posted a comment. Winnie says peace. Okay. Was it easy to use this? These are the nouns. We have beauty, competition, peace, singer, okay. Adjective beauty, and then you can give feedback to your students that beauty is not an adjective. It ends with py, so it's a noun, right? Yeah, so you can go over the answers later. And you see all these extra shapes, you can go ahead and delete them because they are out of place. All that cleaning can be done with the by the teacher. Okay, so this is another activity, and let's say you're sending it asynchronously. Let's say you are assigning this activity for students. You copy the Miro board address, and you can also post some videos for them how to use. If you see, I've connected here, there's nouns, and I've connected a short video on how to use which words are ending, word endings for verbs, for nouns, or how to use adverbs. So there are short videos which can be very helpful. So during an asynchronous lesson, let's say you're sending it for students to do at home, so they can watch the video and they can clarify the doubts if they are not sure beauty is a noun or it's an adjective or a verb. What is it? So they can watch those videos, yeah, and that can be helpful. And the possibilities are limitless. Okay, so I'm going to stop. No, sorry. So the second thing which I want to incorporate is quizzes. And I believe there are some questions in the chat box. Let me look at the questions first. It's a bit crowded on the frame while many are typing. Yes, yeah, but that's okay. I like to put a sticky note and type on the sticky note always, and then I lock it so that no one can mess with it. I like to do that. And you can make it small because later on the teacher can zoom and see, right? So how do you instruct students who don't know how to zoom in and out on the Miro board? Okay, so I always have a short demo session for very simple activities in the beginning of my semester. So they know how to use. So I predominantly use quizzes, Padlet, and Miro board. So Miro board is used for on-the-spot brainstorming activities where I need a quick change in the monotonous lesson. So that's when I do it and they get active. So my students already know. Yes, we will have, okay, so Miro doesn't lag for me. Vimla thought it was a bit chaotic. Okay, so ideal class size, 20 some students only. And we are out of time. I'm so sorry you have to move to the next workshop and I couldn't show you the quizzes app, but quizzes app, the quiz from quizzes can also be shared via URL. So you can go, you can look at the Miro board which I've shared with you. And I've already posted the quizzes app there, the quiz from quizzes. So you can probably see that. I'm sorry we are short on time. So I do apologize. I hope this was useful. I haven't used Jamboard, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I